The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. This is Josh LeMaster. I'm one of the co-founders and chief business officer of Perfect Golf Event. I know I see a lot of names I recognize that are joining us today. So, many of you are already doing some things with Perfect Golf Event, and as you may know, Vortex is familiar to you because if you're in an upgraded package with the Perfect Golf Event platform, you're at least getting some Vortex rain coverage for your event that is included with your upgrade package. So hopefully this will help you learn more about Vortex, and you may see that you want to do some additional things to protect your event. Just a little perspective on from Perfect Golf Event. This is our 12th year, and we've worked with tens of thousands of mostly fundraising golf events. And we, for years, we're looking for ways that these events could protect themselves from rain. Event cancellation insurance definitely has its place, and we use it, and we know some events use it well. But in the case of rain, we saw this kind of easier option, which is there's less administrative burden to get it in place, almost no administrative burden to get it in place. And then, the price works with a lot of the budgets for our events, and just allows you to take a big piece of risk off the table, in addition to doing things that you might do anyway, like having a rain date and having some other protections in place. So we really like what Vortex has done for the marketplace and for protecting the events that work with Perfect Golf Event. So I'm going to be quiet in a minute. Let Eric Anderson with Vortex take you through a few things. Everything you see on the screen, we're going to share by email afterwards, along with a recording of everything that you're seeing. That'll be a YouTube link that you can watch, maybe share with others on the committee. And of course, it'll have my contact information and Eric's contact information. So if we can help in any way, please let us know. That also, during the presentation today, you'll see at the top right of your screen that there's a chat button and a questions button. We are doing this in real time here. This isn't a recording. So if you think of something you want to ask, just jump on the chat. You can just chat with us directly, or post a question. We'll just make sure it gets covered. And either way, we'll leave a little time at the end and try and cover all those questions. So with all of that said, thank you everybody for being here. And Eric, why don't you take it away?
Josh, thank you very much for the introduction there, and welcome everyone to the 5th webinar of the season. Very excited to have everybody here. I'm looking forward to giving you a short presentation, and then ultimately speaking with all of you. We've got a big group around the country today, a lot of event organizers. So I'm going to go through a quick presentation, followed by a little Q&A. You'll get the video recording. And that Josh will send. But ultimately, I want you to, whether you're a first-time organizer or you've been doing this 5 or 10 years, I want you to think of your event and what can happen if a little bit of rain comes, a medium amount, or you're completely washed out. Because you don't have to get washed out or rained out to collect. That's the beauty of our insurance, is that you pick a threshold in an amount of time, and within that time, whatever that amount is, if the event is triggered, you're paid regardless of loss. And I'm going to get into that. It's not indemnity. This is an index-based product. So, like Josh said, through all of the upgrade packages, if you're already getting a small amount, what happens is a lot of the event organizers then call me and say, Eric, I need more than $1,500. I need $20,000. I need $50,000. And I walk them through what I think is a good idea to look at, but at the same time, I help people with budgets, and I'll get into that here in a second. But Josh and their team, they're the best in the business. We've been working with them for several years. We look forward to our relationship for many more years. So I'll get started here, and then we'll follow up with the Q&A. So we'd like to say, don't let bad weather slice into your club's bottom line. You can't predict the weather, but you can help protect your business from it. And there's a myth out there that insurance agencies don't know weather. And it turns out we are weather nerds. We're very proud of that. Our team has over 100 years of combined experience in the weather risk management industry, and we've been helping protect events since 2008 using data-driven policies that mitigate the risk. A little bit about us. We are a subsidiary of MSI Guaranteed Weather, which has been in the weather risk management industry for more than a quarter century. And since 2008, Vortex has specialized in products for outdoor events like fairs and festivals and concerts, jumpy castles, soccer tournaments, lacrosse tournaments, zoos, you name it. So we've been in the space a very long time. And in 2019, we started offering the same product to country clubs, outings, events, charity events, memorial events, because we understood after doing some analysis there was such a need. So we've been very excited to be in this space now, and I'm going to show you how everything works. A question that I'm asked a lot is, who's our carrier? It's our owner, our parent, Mitsui Sumitomo. We are rated A+ best, A+ by AM Best. We're an MGU. We're admitted in all the states as well. So just wanted to share that note. Here's a picture of me. Nice to meet you again. I am the National Director of Sales for all of our products. I was and still am a weather derivatives broker. I worked on trading floors on Wall Street for a very long time, buying and selling and helping companies use weather as a hedging component through temperature, swaps, and options. Before that, I played golf professionally. I still play. I worked at Augusta National when I used to play, but I'm in the space. I've helped run a lot of tournaments from start to finish. So I know your pain points. I know about budgets. I know the types of rains that can hurt or affect your overall expected revenue, whether you have fixed costs, floating costs, everything that's in your personal equation. So there's a myth out there in the golf business: you can't fight Mother Nature. We say not so fast. You can stand up to Mother Nature and help protect your revenue with Vortex. Across the country, savvy golf course operators and event organizers are using rain insurance as a risk management hedge. So as a hedge or protection, you want to think about your anticipated heavy play periods. We do seasonal, monthly, weekend coverages, all kinds of outings, holiday weekends like this coming weekend. It's a big, there's lots of events for Memorial Day weekend. And across the Northeast, we just saw that the forecast, they're going to experience a lot of rain, unfortunately. So it's something to think about. We do annual tournaments, member guests. So for those of you on the call that do more than one event, or you're involved in your club, or you have galas or other kinds of fundraising outdoor activities, you can call me for that as well. So when you think about your event, you want to think about what's at risk, whether it's a tournament, a pro-am, a member guest, all the play related revenue within these types of events. And in the tournaments, you want to think about, okay, what goes into the equation? The food and bev, the alcohol, huge driver, the merchandise, the 50-50 raffle, the drone drops, the putting contests, all the fun stuff that goes into your tournament to ultimately affect what X is your expected number to raise money. And we can walk through that when I get to speak with you, and I can understand a little bit more about your event. And then I can help pinpoint what I think is smart as far as the windows that you need to look at, the different thresholds, and then, push and pull the hours, and I can help you get within the budget that makes the most sense for you. Okay, so this is a very important slide. So rain insurance versus property and casualty insurance. The chance of sustaining an adverse rain occurrence for a golf event is significantly greater compared to traditional P&C events like auto accident, fire, etc. So here's the chance of a potential insurance claim on a single day over a 20-year period. 0.015 for cars, 0.003 for for your home. Very, very low. And when you look at this next slide as a comparison, here's the chance of just a quarter of an inch of rain falling on any single day. This is just between June and August in the country. So this is significantly higher. Another myth we like to look at, rain insurance is complex. We've made it very, very easy and simple for you, the consumer, to understand. And this is how it works. So rain insurance is parametric. So what does that word mean? That means that rain insurance is triggered simply if the recorded rainfall at your location meets or exceeds the threshold listed in the policy during the coverage period. Okay, so it's very important to understand that. Again, this is not indemnity. This is an index-based product, and the hourly readings are recorded at your address, not at an airport 5 or 10 miles away. So we eliminate the basis risk in the reading. It's done right there at your address through a blend of different technologies from WeatherWorks. And when we speak and I send you a detailed email, I'll show you how that all works. Proof of loss, again, or event cancellation is not necessary for the policy to trigger and pay a claim. So after your event, if there's any rain, you don't have to do anything. We take care of that for you. And Josh and all of his upgrade customers, they get an automated report that is sent on the hour. So we do all of that for you. It's very low touch. And if there's a claim, we're letting you know. You're getting a quick payout. And when you get the money in hand it's less than 2 weeks, you can do whatever you want with the money. It's not like indemnity where you have to apply the money towards, whether it's a house or a car or a roof. You can, if you got a check for $20,000, you can put $5,000 to the caterer, $10,000 to the band, $5,000 to the drone person, or whatever. It's really up to you. So how does the rain insurance work? So we work with a company called WeatherWorks, and we use their claim determination system. They work with the NFL, Major League Baseball. We provide recorded hourly precipitation measurements as little as 0.01. We can set up triggering rainfall thresholds as that small at 0.01. And we're asked, okay, what are the policy options? Well, we've got several. Typical shotgun coverage is used in most of the events. Sometimes they're tee times, but let's just use this as an example. A shotgun, say it's everybody's going off at noon. Everybody gets there at 10. Usually it takes 4, hopefully not longer than 5 hours. But everybody goes out to their perfect hole, and then they go ahead and they tee off at the same time and hopefully finish at the right time. Extended hours coverage. What does this mean? I always tell customers, if you think about your clientele, as the example I was just explaining it, if it's a noon shotgun, what happens if it starts raining at 8 in the morning and you only bought the policy from, say, 11 to 5, and you lose 30, 40, or 50% of your field because they looked outside, it's crummy, and they said, you know what, I'm not going to go and play. Well, if you added those hours on the front end, that would add to the aggregate of your total hours. Yes, it adds to the premium, but it also protects you from losing all the contestants and losing them participating in the full day. So when I price up your event, I can show you a 5-hour block, a 7-hour block. We can pull hours from the back, and I can help you really try to get to that, that window where it makes the most sense. We can also write policies overnight when people are sleeping. I've done policies where if the shotgun's at 9, they buy from 3 a.m. to, say, 11 because their event is officially called an event if everybody gets through 9 holes. I understand the contract language in some of your events. Everybody's different. Sometimes it's 1 hole, sometimes it's 9 holes or 6 holes. So I can help with that. Ladder coverage, I'll show you this example in a second. That means that there's different layers of thresholds. So the more that it rains, as it goes through the layers, the more that you're paid back. And you can understand the metrics of loss to the increase of rain. And our escalator product, which we built last year, which starts paying out every 100th of an inch. So instead of buying a policy, say, with a 1/4 of an inch and it rains 0.12, you would get paid the percentage of 0.12 out of the quarter of an inch. And I can price that. I'm more than happy to price that for you as well. All right, so the parametric options, the hours of coverage, this all goes into the equation. Hours can vary per day for multi-day events or overnight protection. The amount of rain that must fall for the policy to trigger, we can go low thresholds with the premiums that work with those thresholds. The limits can be, different per day. A lot of the events are only one day, but if you have multi-day limits, I can help with that. And that the use of hourly data allows us to concentrate only on the hours when rainfall can negatively impact business operations. I don't ask, and Josh, I've shared this with him a long time, but I don't ask customers for budgets until they tell me. It's more important for me to explain the product and show you where's the sensitivity in the hours of when your group of people are going to be coming or when they're going to be staying. Sometimes you might have people coming at the end of the golf tournament for a gala or a dinner or an auction. So you might want to have, hours on the back end and the front end, or if you need to shave money on the back end and add a few hours on the front, because if they're only there through 9 holes, I can work with you on that. So, and that helps to reduce the cost of the insurance while maximizing the protection, which is ultimately what you want. So here's a grid here in Ponte Vedra Beach, where we're south of Jacksonville, just as an example of the hourly data per hour in the month of July back in 2019. You can see in the afternoon hours, it rains more than the morning hours. It's probably going to be more expensive in the afternoon as it rains here, as Josh and I know too well. It rains sometimes just in bursts, but we get more rain in the afternoon than the morning time. And I can help you, show you these kinds of things at your location all across the country. And here's another myth. Rain insurance is too expensive. And in reality, our team works for you to create a policy that fits your needs and budget. And that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to help you save money, but maximize coverage. So rain insurance is priced using historical probabilities, geographic location. Down here in Florida, it rains more in the summer than it does the winter. Afternoon, like we were just discussing, versus the morning time. So it's going to be more expensive. The duration, obviously, the more hours, it's going to be more premium. The amount insured, and then I can work with you if you want deductibles. That's easy for us to price in as well. So here's an example of a sample quote, 10-3. This is in the winter down in Palm Beach Gardens on $10,000 of limit. This, if you were to buy option A as a threshold of 0.20, that means if the rain falls at any time in the span of 5 hours, not per hour. So it can rain at 10:05, 0.10, and then be perfect, and then at 2:55 for another 1/10 of an inch. As long as the total amount of rain hits your threshold, you're paid. It's really that simple. Here's the layered approach or tiered ladder approach. This means that if it were to rain through 0.20 and not touch 0.33, you get 10% of the 150,000. You get 15,000. If we're to continue to rain through 0.33 and not touch 0.5, you get the 15,000 and the 45,000. So there's a lot of events that understand the metrics of loss. The more that it rains, the more people leave the golf course. They don't stay for your dinner or your lunch or your auction and those kinds of things. So this makes up for that loss. So here's a 3-day member guest tournament, different coverage periods, different days. The threshold stayed the same and the limit stayed the same. These are all independent. Sometimes there's events I price, sometimes it's a pickleball and a golf tournament. You might have one thing in the morning, one thing in the afternoon, or a multi-day event. I'm happy to help you with that. Some of these things run into a gala. I can help you with that as well. Okay, so I'm asked this a lot. What about rain dates? I write for a lot of events that have rain dates. And here's an example that I've worked with Gary and their team for many years now. He had a rain date, but he got obviously it triggered. He got 25,000. He went ahead and he bought insurance for his rain date event too. But again, this is how fast he got the check. Okay, as we look to conclude, here's some of our professional relationships. I worked with the PGA Tour up the Travelers for many years, and the Dick's Champions Tour event. They've had 6-figure payouts with us. We've worked with the different sections across the country that have bought from us. PGA Reach, PGA Magazine, a lot of the NFL events, I've worked with them. Folds of Honor, different sections across the country, all have different types of risk. Buffalo Group does our marketing, and obviously Josh and his team, they're the best in the business. And here's some of our partners, our testimonials, and what they've said. And as we look to conclude, Josh, are there any questions that I can help the team with?
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate the presentation. I do see a couple of questions. I just had one comment too, just thinking through your comments there. We see every day now, we see the automatic reports that come out on all of our upgraded events that reflect the amount of rain, if any, hopefully none, but if there was rain, we see those reports. And then on those upgraded events that did have rain events, it kicks in an automatic payment. So with literally zero interaction from the organizer of the event, these claims are getting paid out. So it's a cool product. So I do see a couple of chats here to me. That the one question, Eric, and we deal with the same thing on paying for contests, is how soon do they need to make that purchase commitment, and does timing impact the price?
Yeah, no, great questions. We always encourage groups to buy sooner than later. The price might fluctuate, but if I were to price something today for you, you have a 45-day lock. A lot of events go ahead and they put it in part of their cost. But I understand that people have budgets, they have sponsors, they're trying to raise money. So if you need to wait until the last hour, the last drop dead day to bind coverage through our credit card portal, and I'll send that to you in an invoice, is 15 days. If you need to ACH or send a check, it's got to be 18 or 20 days out so we can get the check and bind the deal. But again, we completely understand that sometimes it takes a little bit longer to find the money to pay for it. But if you can, we encourage you that you buy it on the earlier side.
Thank you. I've got two more questions here. One, and I may have answered it in my comments, but why don't you just go ahead and cover it again, Eric? They're asking, what do they need to give you if it rains, and how long does it take to get paid?
Yeah, no, we provide an expiration report to all of our customers: golf, rodeos, concerts, all kinds of venues. So whether you have a trace of rain, a little bit, or a triggering event, every one of our customers gets a report sent to you within 3 to 5 days. And then if you do have a triggering event, you don't have to do anything. We let you know. Usually all the customers email me and say, Eric, when are we going to get the report? Because they received rain. So I'm usually reaching out because we're notified that the different locations had rain. And if it does trigger, we take pride in getting the check in the mail, and usually it's less than 2 weeks. So we really try to turn it around quickly for you.
And if I just add to that, if it's a perfect golf event customer, we as soon as we get notified of the claim, we add it to the available funds on the event dashboard on the Perfect Golf Event website. So it's almost immediate, almost immediate as soon as we learn that the report has shown rain. So, and I see one more question, Eric. If this is a question about beyond the U.S., so maybe you can cover what if it's outside of the 48 domestic states.
Yeah, no, another great question. We get asked that a lot, and we'd have to look at the data source. And if there is an event in outside of what we typically do, we do a deep dive and see if the data is consistent. And then because we need the data to price. But yes, we can accommodate, at least try to work with the event holder and try to put something in place. But each event, depending on the location outside of what we have, it takes a little bit of extra work, but we're happy to do that for you.
Thank you for that. I think, check one more time. Yep. So I think we've covered everything. Eric, thank you so much for your presentation. I hope that was helpful to everyone. Give us a few minutes to convert the video, and you'll see an email with all of this, and I have attachments and links, and of course the contact information, which you also see on your screen. And Eric, I'll let you wrap it up, and thank you everybody for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. And just a reminder for those of you who got either the birdie, eagle, double eagle, or ace, that's, you get the small amount from 10 to 2 on a half an inch of coverage. So if you need more than that, which a lot of events do, whether it's another 10,000 or 20, or at least you want to see a quote, just call me or email me, and I'll work it up for the extended hours so your whole day is covered. I'm more than happy to do that. And then also, just give me a call or an email. Here's my information on the screen. And Josh is going to send it to you as well. And thanks again to everyone joining today. Big group today. Look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.